All right, here we go, folks. And a happy Wednesday to everybody. So let's see what's going on in Distant Worlds 3 today. All right, where we are? Where are we? We're on the Odysseus. Whoa. Okay, so we're out past Sagittarius A. Cool. Let's go exploring. That should do for the day. Because I don't want to leave the carrier behind completely, because it's not at its first rendezvous point. Which is actually rendezvous point, which I believe is still about 12,000 light years from here.
Shift release. Shift departure confirmed.
Well, that's interesting. See if we get a good view of the carrier with that. There we go. That's a good shot. Engage FSD.
Non-option.
Oh yeah, we need to change up the crew for the day. Protocol override. Customize my settings.
Customizer opened.
Successful. Bon voyage.
Okay, executing now. Loud and clear.
Closing
Crew assigned.
customizer. Settings saved.
Don't care about power play cycles out here. We may need to jump a little further away from the carrier. I'd like to not be stumbling over everybody else.
Jumping to next system.
Ah, that's why you're so close, or so few jumps. Because we're about to make the rest of it in one.
Jump range boosted.
Engage FSD.
Engaging drive. Navigation for next system.
Come on. That is bright, good lord.
Adjusting for jump. Frame shift now engaged. No anomalies
Okay.
detected.
We're just going to be kind of jumping willy-nilly today, guys. I have no destination because the end goal is to land back on the carrier. Really, I just got discovery for... Oh, that's in this sector. Alright, let's set this up for economical. This is going to give us an absolutely ridiculous route. 17 jumps, yeah, that sounds about right.
Interstellar travel mode engaging now.
Okay. Three stars are on top of each other. Sometimes it's just like this.
Stand by. Hyperspace.
just the one. Engage FSD.
Frameshift now engaged.
Class K coming up.
Vectors. Interstellar travel mode engaging now.
Alright, anything valuable here? 20, I'll take it. Now, hopefully nobody else has been through here. You're a belt cluster. Perfect. We're the first ones in this system. Is it going to give me a readout on this one or not? All right. Class 2. Gas giant with water-based life. Rocky body. Another rocky body. And 2 more of them right here. No likely hits for life yet. I'm willing to bet the vast majority of the rest of the stuff is here. It's an interesting looking planet. Alright. These are all right on the cusp of HMC classification. None of them are quite there. Engage FSD.
Making the jump to light speed. Course adjustment. Frameshift drive engaging.
Yep, so back down to 1.
To you, it's
All
something
right.
small you take for granted, no doubt. But I'd like to taste a toasted hot muffin, still warm enough, with melting butter and sweet fruit preserve. Strawberry jam, perhaps. I think I would like that a lot.
Oh no, heat
I won't
level's
find out
critical.
if I do.
We'll be fine. That's my fault for popping a little too early.
Select
I was
the
distracted by
next
Eden going on about being human. struck out in the last system. 17 here. Alright, Rocky Ice Worlds. Alright, so probably not going to be fantastic here either. Well, all we can do is scan and hope. There it is. I knew there was something else right here. Here's our gas giant. Class 1. So far, we've not run across anything that merits a closer look today. And there's an HMC right when I say that. So we had one with a neon-rich atmosphere that was landable, and then we had the HMC. Let's have a look at that HMC real quick. Oh, that HMC might be worth some money. Certainly don't mind just scanning it real quick. Chat, how's everybody doing today? Let's see, potential value on this one's about 227 grand, so it's not a lot, but it adds up over the course of however many we scan while we're out here. Really feel like this kind of shows the divide between exobiology and old school planetary discovery. Sounds good. All right. Big ice caps on this planet, huh? It's like a dirty cue ball. All right. 6 probes, we can do it in 3.
Welcome to Friend Vibe Cooking Gift will get it kun droppen grenzen serio go go go.
Thank you for the follow. I don't know, why is my mini feed not, my notifications feed not working? Well, that's a damn shame. Make sure it's not filtering crap it shouldn't be. No, it's just busted. Well, Nanostar 26, thank you for the follow. There's at least a way to recover those. Alright. So that's the HMC out of the way. Next system en route. Next system en route.
Selecting next destination.
Engage FSD.
Drives engaging.
Now I'm going to have to figure out what the heck's going on with my notifications feed in OES. Anyways, let's make our next massive 2.14 light year jump.
Preparing for jump.
So that HMC is the most valuable thing we've found so far. Of course, we've only been going for 20-something minutes, so I'll deal with it. This fuel scoop is ridiculous. Right here. Alright, so another just one. Just the star. Reminder, we're only traveling like 30 light years and we still have 11 jumps to go. Well, today, how's it going? Yes, I had a neutron scoop to make that work.
Leaving system.
No, we are literally in one of my favorite places to be for exploration, where the stars are so dense, you said it's economical and take 5 days to go 30 light years. I absolutely love parts of the galaxy like this. There's so much stuff to see. Although right now, the galaxy is only giving me single star systems, so yeah, you know. 1.47. We ought to see what the record for shortest jump is going to be today. This is it so far.
Locking next star system.
Now the expedition itself is going to be moving on past this, back out into 39. Sparse or density soon.
Hello. Welcome to Hranvar Pogwingith Gogerith Gwindropoch.
Get done with this scan and I will show you guys where they're going. Bombastic 18, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Alright, so we got some gas giants. An ammonia world, it looks like. And then nothing in the Earth-like and water worlds, which is unfortunate, but I'll deal with it. Oh yeah, we got stuff around the distant star. So there's ourselves a class 2. Big cluster of planets here. The Twitch stream. Just make sure I have transcoding today. Tap back in. The Twitch stream might not be working for you because I don't have transcoding today. Which means all you've got is my raw feed, which is 1440p. So that can be an issue sometimes. One of the advantages of YouTube. I started playing this game in 2021. I heard a lot of if you haven't played since 2021, yes, a lot has changed. Half the plant scannables in this system are out here. The B star. Including another gas giant. You can kind of see how that was taking shape with the other orbital planes. So icy body. Alright, so we're done with that little section, but let's see, there's yet more down here. Thinking about giving it a go. It's a good time to give it a go. They've completely overhauled on-foot combat. We've got new on-foot missions or an expansion called Operations coming up. What are you? You're completely blacked out. Rocket body. I'm starting to think there's nothing around the A-star here. We still haven't found that ammonia-based world, if that's actually one. So there's an HMC. Time to switch tabs to Evaluator. There's a couple things in the system so far that might be worth some decent cash. One of them is going to be my least favorite thing in the world. There's our ammonia world. Water world, boom. You are worth some cash. Another HMC. Another HMC. High metal content is what I mean when I say HMC, guys. If you're new to exploration or just not up on all the abbreviations, that is belt clusters. Let's get them off the scan. We're going to be mapping here for a few minutes. So no exo-biology in this system, it doesn't look like, but plenty of old school scans. There's something else out here. This is going to look funky on the system map. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, everything's around the B-star. For reference, guys, I am here. The Odysseus is right there, and they're headed for Rendezvous Point. Round it. There it is. So they're headed out in the Arcadian Stream. I'm willing to bet that we're headed all the way out into the Vales and Acheron, which is going to be fun. Absolutely, I don't mind explaining what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. So, Distant Worlds 3 is a big player-driven event. That's, let me see, how many commanders? $8,310, so yeah, a little over 8,000 players signed up for a expedition, basically across the galaxy. So it's essentially a giant galactic road trip. We left from the bubble last week. Excuse me. And we are currently traveling with a train of fleet carriers to our first rendezvous point, which is what I was just looking at on the galaxy map. And once out there, we're going to be exploring and doing some community-created events and just in general experiencing the game and seeing what's out here. Alright, so we want B1. So here's one thing that'll be a big change if you stop playing in 2021 is the new frameshift drives that allows us to cross solar systems real fast. Super Cruise Overcharge is a literal game changer. Did they implement an option to change the colors on your control panel? They did not. What you are seeing is the results of really? It's a mod called EDHM. I was going to pull it up, and it's apparently decided it doesn't want to cooperate. There it comes. And there are a lot of them. So no more having to edit the XML file. Thank God. Alright, we're going to be in the vicinity of this star for a little bit here. Ooh, we have a terraformable high metal content planet and a terraformable water world here. That is close to 7 million credits. So worth approximately one good exo-biology discovery. But still, 7 million credits, 7 million credits. And with the engineering I've got on this detailed surface scanner, this will not be a hard ask to map all this stuff pretty quickly. So we're mapping one probe. This might, there are 2 probes. This might take 1. A mystery planet to be found by players. Honest to God, I don't remember what that one was. Alright, so we're going to 5. There's been a whole war since then. I really don't remember.
Hello. Welcome to Hranvar po Gwingith go Gerith Gwyn
Hey, thank you for the
Dropbox
YouTube
Sense
sub.
City
I appreciate it. Much, much appreciated. Come on, can we kick free of the gravity well? There we go. So, if you guys are wondering where I'm getting my numbers from, I am running ED Observatory in the background right now. So, what you're seeing is we're coming up on B5, high metal content, and high value terraformable. So, total value should be about 2.6 mil if I'm the first one to turn the data in, which I should be. Catch up on the lore before I get back to playing. The biggest catch up on the lore, honestly, is going to be the Thargoid War. The fact that they got to Sol, and we had to kill one of their Titans in Earth orbit. There's some other minor ongoing arcs right now, but they've not been resolved since FTF took a break for the holidays last year. All right. 6 probes. Let's go with 3. Power play got a rework. Power play's so much better than it used to be. Alright, that is 4.2 mil in the bank potentially, or 2.6, and then B6 is our next stop. Got steam. 07, Commander. How goes it? I'm gonna scoot across here and take a look at this. I want to take a look at... Let's see, B9 is... No, not worth. Waste Triss. Hello, Commander. Fellow GW3 Commander. On Distant Suns. Nice. Yeah, I just popped off Odysseus to go have a look-see around and just kind of explore. I'll dock back with her at the end of the stream today, wherever she happens to go. And I'm a newbie pretty much. Well, you picked a really cool thing to do as a newbie. Distant Worlds 2 was amazing. I still remember it. Alright guys, so this is, if you're an explorer, this is one of the big things you're looking for in addition to Exo-biology right here. There's only one thing that comes a whole lot better than this, and that's a terraformable Earth-like. Or not, excuse me, yeah, not terraformable Earth-like, it's terraformable HMCs in this at the top ends. My brain's not working today. This is pretty much what you want. Distant Suns, this is what you guys are looking for a lot, and I got lucky and found one here. I didn't look up the stats on this planet before we approached it. We might can do that real quick in the system info. But it's got big polar caps. So I like myself a terraformable water world. Let this thing coast in real quick and then we'll look. So, still out of range. Just a big blue ball. .5 Earth masses, 1.2 atmospheres. Pristine reserves, blah, 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 terrestrial world. About half the size of Earth, but still. That surface temp, though. That surface temp is not okay. 1, 2, 3. That should do it for the scan. So this, and I should be the first one to turn in, this is about 4.2 million credits. But also the satisfaction of having found a terraformable water world. Unfortunately, I cannot land on it. That would be fantastic, but not as of yet. Alright, let me just look at Evaluator. Yeah, we're done with this system. Next system en route.
Locking next star system.
Engage FSD.
Drives engaging.
Yeah, we're still waiting for full atmospheric landings. I don't know if they'll ever get to it, unfortunately, y'all. As much as I would love it.
Entry guidance computations complete.
Or if they do, it's not going to be a lot because it's going to have to be handcrafted is what I'm worried about. That's what I thought. It's just the suns. Such is the way of the universe sometimes.
Readying for system jump now.
Oh yeah, we can land on some of them. That last system that we were in, there was a lot of planets I could have landed on. Just from my scans, there was nothing of value on them. Not monetarily, at least. And I didn't see anything that was very cool in terms of geology to go look at. Maybe it'll be different here. And kick us away from the star. Throttle down. And into scan mode. So, right off the bat, this is looking interesting. Bunch of rocky bodies. Potentially some life here. Oh, something right next door, huh? Nope. That's a little weird. What are we orbiting here? Oh, we're just orbiting close to the sun. Alright. Very close, actually. Everything's all jammed up together from the angle we're looking at the orbital plane at. Okay. Moving on. That's unusual. That's just a gas giant by itself? 9 times out of 10, a gas giant's going to have some type of moons. Oh, Raxla. Oh, that old myth. Or joke, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, things just get a lot more interesting in this system. Alright. Things definitely got a lot more interesting. Anything changed for 2021? No, Raxel is more or less Elite's version of an urban myth. 4B. If it does exist, the Frontier's got it permanent locked behind systems somewhere, but yeah, it's more or less an urban myth. That would have been Michael Brooks, yeah. But all the responses about it have been extremely cheeky, like looking at his quote here. They said, "There will be no clues. It's in the Milky Way, but I can't tell you where it is. It's a journey that everyone has to travel for themselves." So it's... I personally am of the opinion it's just a cheeky little joke on the dev's part. Chromatic sphere, see? Yeah, Raxley comes up in that context most of the time. I don't need a free anaconda from Hutton. I just want my coffee mug, damn it. Two probes. So you mean one probe? One signal. This really isn't worth that much, but I also just kind of want to do a little exo-biology today, so we're going to go find this thing.
Initializing orbital rendezvous procedures. Entry guidance computations complete.
Really? That was... I call bullshit on that one.
Flight mode.
It'll take us longer to hit orbit again, though, so... Full impulse.
Full impulse engaged.
Afterburners.
Afterburners maxing engines.
Not a bad view. Power to shields.
Power diverted to shields.
given that we're looking for bacterium, this gets very, yeah, very limited time, but there it is. What's the atmosphere? I didn't look what the atmosphere was on this one. We're on 4B. Methane. No volcanism. I would love to find a decent volcanic planet. I know you don't get anything for the geology, but it's still cool. Landing gear.
Deploying landing gear.
I mean, if I'm on a time crunch, I'll pass up, like, low-value stuff. But if I'm not really in a hurry somewhere, I'll... Come on. I'll find stuff. There we are. Really? There we go. This is why I didn't bring a Caspian. Or bring my Caspian on this expedition. It is on a carrier. In case I need it for a quick trip somewhere or something. First footfall. Love that paint job. These aren't too hard to spot from the air, so this should not take too long. Whoops. I was hoping for the Fonticulae on this planet because it is one that I don't see that often, so I'm not sure I have a entry for it, which is the Digiters. I suppose I should switch my view so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay, 500 meters. Get me another colony game. This is not the type of planet where I want to fuss with driving an SRV. Rattling our teeth out. You're just a funky looking rock. There's one. Yeah, 1.15. Although, if we're the, well, like I said, I should be the first person to turn this in. You can multiply that by 4, because this was a first footfall. All right. One more sample. Of course, there's one right here. You might actually be right in range. Yep, perfect. That's what we want. That's the dream right there. Aside from having everything all clustered together and you just drive around in your SRV picking things off. Alright. With that, we are done in this system. Landing gear.
Retracting modules.
Full impulse.
Maximum impulse.
Clear the area and jump.
Boosting now.
Oh, you're trying to jump to our next system. Look at that gas giant. I'll throttle up in a second. I want a cool screenshot, thank you. Mandalay in front of everything.
The fuel rats are a volunteer mischief pilots, willing to refuel stranded pilots. No questions asked.
Something I said in there, gotta say, explainer on the fuel rats. Good to know. I've never actually had to call the fuel rats, somehow. Next system en route.
Navigation for next system. Leaving system.
Alright, we're all set for our next system scan, y'all. I do enjoy this kind of exploration. So that's going to be a binary star. Yep. Engage FSD. How many jumps do we have left on this route? 6. I didn't plot very far. We're just on economical, as you guys can see from those really, really
Selecting
short
next destination.
jump links. Light years. That ties with our shortest jump of the day. Really? Is this 5 stars? Yeah, it is. The Class K, a Class M, 2 Class M's. Interesting. Hey, Mystic, why does Switch hate you? Because I don't have transcoding today. Whereas I always have full transcoding on YouTube. So if your internet's not strong enough to pull in a 1440p 60 stream, then Twitch is gonna fuck up. How could you get somewhere that says route unavailable? Ah, there's... Okay, we got ourselves a big system here. Couple things that could be going on there. generally the easiest way to bypass it is, instead of plotting a route, is to set target. And if you can jump straight there, it'll let you. If you're trying to plot from further out, you'll have to manually try to plot in, because likely what's happening is you're running into a permit locked area that the router is not, the automatic route planner is not smart enough to go around. Right off the bat, we're drowning in HMCs. Gonna have to have a good look at the planet evaluator here. Yeah, expansion of the co-pilot should be able to get around it. In theory. The in-game route plotter is not the smartest tool that's ever been created. Ooh. That's a nice hit. Ammonia-based life. Interesting. I hope you guys like this system. We're about to be here for a little while. Oh, good Lord. We're about to be here for, oh my God, quite a while. Probably got the last couple right here. Another HMC. Alright, let's have a look here at the evaluator. That's really disappointing. That's actually really disappointing. None of these high metals are really worth it. However, this could be interesting. A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's not a bad chunk of change if I mapped them all. We could do it. We don't have anything else to do. I could work my way through it pretty quickly. A1 and A1A are both metal rich as well. I just have to make sure I pay attention to the game and not everything else, and don't overfly planets, and this will go a lot smoother. Potentially a lot of exo-biology money to be made in this system too. So, yeah. Boom. Do I prefer to work outward or inward? If I'm not using a tool like ED Cope or ED Observatory, I'll work outward from the star. But with something like this, what I'll do is I'll actually, because I have a list of what's been mapped on my right monitor, I will work on the basis of what is the closest, the next body. Mainly because I'm going to knock off the orbital surveys first for the HMCs, and then I'll come back and do the bioinsight stuff. Because I'm easily distracted, and if I have to keep switching tabs, I will miss something because I have the brain of a squirrel. And I also didn't look too close at those biosigns. I think one of those planets is actually not worth very much. We just know we got a lot of hits off a couple of those planets. Hey, Space Dog, you're okay. That's A5 done. Yeah, basically distance efficiency and squirrel brain efficiency. Let's have a look at those others while we're on approach here. So BioInsights is showing one planet. Alright, we got between 7 mil and 16 mil. Chester! Chester! Hey, chill. We got between 7 mil and 16 mil on one, between 4 mil and 12 mil on another, and between 4 mil and 9 mil on another. So, yeah, we're probably going to be... you guys are welcome for the stream. I enjoy sharing this game with y'all. We're going to be looking for quite a lot of exo-bio here, because these should be first footfalls, which means this system is going to be really fun and interesting to explore, and also very profitable to explore, which is, you know, just nice bonus on top. So, working outward or inward in this context would mean, do I start... Let me scan this planet real quick and I'll show you guys. The easiest way to show you is going to be a tool that almost nobody uses in this game, in my experience, for some reason. How far are we? We're past Sajay a good long ways. I like observatory better. It's just straight personal preference. Alright, so here's what I meant. I just scroll over in there. So, in the terms of working outwards, we would be working from out here and then to the next planet, in towards the sun. Whereas if we were working outwards, we'd be working boom, 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 boom. So, and this is the aura review, which a lot of people don't use for some reason. So if we zoom in here to this star, again, outward would be starting there, boom, 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 whereas inward would be starting on the outer orbit and working in. But aura review is incredibly useful to get an idea of what a star system actually looks like instead of the map view. And as far as I know, I like a lot of people when I pull this up are like, what the hell is that? And when did it get in the game? We did A5. We need to do A1 and A1A. AB. So all of the life or exo-biology signs are on that other star. Interesting. But yeah, I think aura review is very cool and it's very useful for getting an idea of what a star system actually looks like in terms of 3D space in the game. Because you can see like some of the janky weird orbits that Stellar Forge will generate sometimes. And it just translates better to what you're seeing in game. Exactly, guys, Steve. You're basically playing in a large aura review. It just helps me orient a little better sometimes when I get a system like this. It's like, wow, man, there's just a lot of shit out here. Two probes should do it for you. One should do it for you, little monkey boy. And weird. I'm sorry, what?
Initializing orbital rendezvous procedures.
What do we have here?
Entry guidance computations complete. Vectors for descent. Hull integrity is within limits. All other systems are now at normal levels.
What do we have down here? Landing gear.
Deploying gear.
This is not what I was expecting to find out here. Oh, of course you're right there. Let's see if we can get this one. Okay. Not seeing anything else of interest, but that's the exact opposite of what I was expecting to find. Yeah, those were indeed Thargoid bits way out here. That was really not what I was expecting. I didn't think we would see any kind of non-human signals out here. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and clip that real quick after stream. Put a marker in. I'm not sure what the random spawn algorithm is for those things, but as far as I know, there shouldn't be Thargoidy stuff going on out here. How many non-human signatures do we have in this? So far, just that. Okay. I have concerns. I generally use them for engineering. That's A2 mapped. I'm gonna drop this into FleetCom real quick. Well, all right, we need to map A4. Might as well map the small one while we're here. That makes me a little more concerned with what might be out here. This is a close enough orbit that I'm not real sure this would hold up in real life. I think that moonlet would get ripped apart. Alright. On to A6. And that'll do it for this body. Scary's gonna be hyperdiction out here and make some gnarly content. I would shit myself if I got hyperdicted out here. Because this ship has got 4D shields on it and 1 laser. Don't forget, we still got some Exo-bio to do in this system, too. This system's probably going to eat up the rest of my time available for a stream today, and if I want to catch back up to the carrier. Which I think just jumped from what I see in FleetCom. Catching up to a carrier is not that hard, though. Okay. I do really enjoy this scanner. It makes this so much easier. Alright, next up on our hit list is B1. Or actually B3. Or at the rate this is carrying us through the system as we decelerate, I might just start from the middle or the inner and work out. So we do, because we do have B1 through 7 on here, so might as well. So B1's actually right behind me. do not... That's been lagging on me for some reason recently, and I don't notice it. This system's contained enough that I'll work outside or inside out. Yes, yes, gravity, well. And then we have to make it to AB. And B1 is scanned. All right, onward we go. Gravity, my nemesis. Not cutting off Super Cruise overcharge, my nemesis. It's fine, we'll coast back in. Check out that nebula over there, just to the right above my fuel gauge. That's nice and bright and blue. I wonder which one that is. That was 2. So 5 more to go. And then we're on to the interesting planets. Alright, so 3. They're going to be the same as the others. 4 probes. 2. 4. Jeez, there was a Thargoid trap. Please, no. Alright. The crazy thing about this is that with all this scan, this system is going to be, before discovery bonus, it's worth like 3 mil. We'll make that on the first thing that we bother to scan on Exo-biology. It's why I think that's why I think that this aspect of exploration needs a rebalance. There's B4 and B5. That'll be B4 and B5 done real fast. And we're done. Those do have some, both had some volcanism on them. You know what's great about exploring, guys? I don't have to see messages about this carrier being in the top 1%, or this liner being in the top 1% of all liners out there. It's amazing. One, two, three. And B7. Be glad to be done with this part of the survey, because the next part of the system is the fun stuff. This is your captain speaking. We are way off course. The arrival will be delayed indefinitely. Also, this is the top 1% liner. Enjoy the shrimp cocktails. Ooh, if we were this far out, even with future tech, I don't know about the, I don't know if I trust the shrimp cocktails, boys. You know what I'm going to try, and I may do this with my other alt. Fully engineered fully engineered jump Caspian passenger runs for some of those stupid Colonia missions. Alright, that is everything that needs to be scanned from space. Now we're headed for AB-1E. This is an interesting system. Some rather strange orbits up here. We've got one that's entirely perpendicular to the star system, or to the star. Excuse me, not to the star, to that gas giant. Alright. This planet's basically covered up in bioscience. Pretty good bioscience, too. So let's see what we have down here. Okay. Basically, this is a land anywhere planet. I mean, look at that.
Orbital rendezvous procedures initiated. Re-entry procedures initiated. Intelligent thrusters initiating. Done.
Power to shields.
Power diverted to weapons.
Landing gear.
The landing gear is down and locked.
Well, well, well. Already. All right, time to get to exo-biology scanning. First footfall confirmed. guys are just a little too close. Right, so one of these will be within range. Okay. Wow, that is a big patch of them. Jeez. Right, that's the stratum done. These are worth a good chunk of cash, these Aliotas. Is that the same thing? Nope, that is something else. These, however... Yes, I've messed that up more times than I care to admit. Because I am impatient. Back to the SRV. So that's 7.25 million times 4 for first discovery when we get it home. You are Tussock. Potentially over there. How important is upgrading to Artemis to G3 or so? Doesn't make a massive difference. I mean, it's useful to have some of the mods, but you know, you're gonna notice it mostly on extreme temperature planets. And on those planets, if you just are smart about how long you stay out of your ship or SRV, you'll be alright. I mean, I'm not running a super heavily upgraded suit. Mainly because I don't like the engineering grind for on foot any more than I care for the engineering grind for ships. But, and of course, there's one of the bacteria. This has ended up being pretty easy. That was another 12 mil. I should have looked to see where that bacterium was before I got in. Oh well. I find them easier to spot from the air anyways. Like, if we look at my loadout real quick, once we get back in the ship. Like, it's a G3 Artemis suit, but it doesn't have any upgrades. So, pretty sure I bought it. Did I get a scan on... Where's that big field of tussock? I didn't get a scan on those with the comp scanner. There you are. Nope, that was the Leona. There's the bacteria. Base value 1 million, distance 500 meters. Nah. Still, it's 4 mil. And these are easy to spot. It's when you get gray bacteria on a gray planet that I tend to just go, nope, not bothering. So wish we'd get landable. If we had landable SLFs, I would consider the Caspian a viable and probably necessary exploration ship at that point. But it is a pain to land. It is wonderful for getting places quickly. I don't put a whole lot of stock in its steeper angle and faster descent either, because I've messed with both of them, and I mean, you may save 4 or 5 seconds here and there, but I mean, I come in really damn steep with my Mandalay, so the difference is not great enough for that to be a massive factor for me. There we go. I miss the original minigame for Exo-biology. I wish they hadn't scrapped that. That's AB1E done. AB3E. There's our next one. This is looking to be about the same in terms of what's on the planet. Not quite as profitable. And then 3F is our next one, so got a lot of planets around these couple gas giants. Pretty big gas giant systems, really. Reminds me of some of the Jovian system in our own solar system. Makes it easy to find things, at least. Look for the big gas giant. Alright. Let's get a scan on you. Oof. Yikes, planet value just dropped by a lot. We'll drop on the stratum. That's unfortunate. We lost a potential 7.25 million signal when we actually scanned the planet. That's important to note about ED Observatory. I don't know exactly what I'm getting until I scan the planet. I'll get a hit that tells me what could potentially spawn there, but I don't know exactly what we're going to find until we get down or get over here and scan it.
Initializing orbital rendezvous procedures. Re-entry procedures initiated. Changing flight mode.
All right. Power to shields.
Powering systems.
Landing gear.
The gear is down and locked.
So we've only got 3 potential bios on this planet. And I can see all 3 of them right here. I really wish it would remember your choice, your preferences on lights, because I do not care for the SRV lights being on and when I'm on the day side of the planet. But I gotta reset it every time. I could probably actually tie it to voice attacks deploy command. I'd have to go in and mess with it, but deploy SRV and then make it wait a set amount of seconds and then do the commands to enter the command to turn the lights off. Because I'd have to wait for it to drop the ship. On the other hand, FDAV could have just coded it so the damn game remembered it. Oh, that hurts. We got real lucky with that first planet. I have a feeling that this third planet's also going to be a little bit of a loss. That away. I would love an exploration SRV also, like a Exo-biology SRV that had scanner tools built into it. There should be more than enough of these around the ship. Something else I would also take would be a upgraded, or they could do this two ways. They could make an upgrade version of the Exo-biology scan that allows you to keep two samples going at once and swap between the canisters. Or they could put a rack on the outside of the SRV that allows you to swap them out. Not quite far enough. Because this situation is not bad, but I have had a few landing areas in the past when there's been like 5 or 6, like 5 or 6, but 4 or 5 things like on a really good plan all together. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm going to be driving back and forth like an idiot for an hour. I think that field just in front of the ship should be, yeah, it's going to be far enough. And there was okay, Rock, there was a bacterium right behind us, so we're good there. This tool originally had a mini game that required player input, and I think that was part of the reason it was designed to only hold one sample at a time. But everybody hated it so much during the beta testing for some reason that FDev took that out and turned it into what it is today. Which I never understood, because the minigame was dead simple. There was just a little bit more player engagement, but it wasn't hard by any stretch of the imagination. Somewhere on my channel, I think I have footage of it. Now I'm looking at YouTube. This is the Odyssey Alpha. This might be it. These up, you will go backwards. Yep, I'm not going to play the audio because the audio's got a desync issue. However, this is how it used to work. So I'm actually having to press a button when those line up, and they go faster and faster. So again, come on. So that was the original Exo-biology. And I liked that minigame. Thought it added just a little bit more player engagement and having to actually think. But the feedback on it was apparently so negative that they took it out. For some reason. Yeah, I've never been real sure why they caved in on it. It was just a really simple click minigame. There's plenty of other games out there. It reminds me of lockpicking minigames in some games. As a matter of fact, it reminds me a lot of the lockpicking minigame in Star Wars Outlaws visually. That was a rhythm game when you got down to it, but visually it looks kind of similar. The only reason I know that I have that clip is because somebody once tried to tell me that that wasn't the way the minigame originally was, and I was literally like, hold on. Let me go find the video for you real quick, bud. Gonna come up just shy? Nope. Hard to believe that was 5 years ago. Alright, we are done with planet AB3E. Now we need AB3F. Power to engines.
Transferring power to engines.
Full impulse.
Maximum impulse engaging.
The one thing I regret not having video of is some of the old school shit that would happen long time ago. When you when you went into hyperspace too close to a planet. Some of those bugs way back when were friggin' hilarious. Game crashing, but hilarious. Alright, so we potentially have a bacterium, a concha, a stratum, a tubus, and 2 types of tussock, one worth 4 mil and one worth 1. So we'll see what we get when we scan this puppy. Alright, let's see here. 2 should do it. Adam Bellwood, 1959. If you got mods on, I'm currently using the ED HUD mod for my HUD colors. I'm also using Voice Attack, and I am running Elite Observatory for Exo-biology. And we have got a basic bacterium, a basic stratum, it's the Paleus again, and unknown on the tussock until we actually get down there. Everything's pretty much evenly distributed, so let me get on the day side, and then we'll get down there and have a look. Tussock is one that we haven't seen on either the other 2 planets, so either way it'll be worth a scan with the comp scanner for a codex entry. Not getting a whole lot brighter here, but
Initializing orbital.
none of this will be
rendezvous
real hard
procedures.
to see, especially the way that these planets have been going for us. No, knock on wood, because I say that and everything will be super spread out here for no damn reason.
Entry guidance computations complete. Intelligent thrusters engaged.
Power to shields.
Transferring power to shields.
Landing gear.
I'm deploying the landing modules for docking.
Alright, well. Landed right on top of the stratum. Alright, get a scan here and then see what else might be nearby. Bacteria, or not bacteria, plants over that way. Oh, and a bronzite. Oops. Okay. Phosphorus and some iron. Perfect. Plenty of tussock out here. So we'll get a scan on it after we finish this. The bacterium, I'm not too worried about. If we see it, we'll scan it. If not, we'll leave it. Bringing walking ship interiors. As somebody who plays Star Citizen, I get the want to have ship interiors, but the way Elite is designed, unless they redo way more than I think they have the resources for, ship interiors would be gameplay-wise useless. Like, they'd be cool to walk around, but the way Elite's designed, they wouldn't really serve any gameplay purpose as the game is right now. Now, if they come up with something unique and cool and put them in, I'm all for it, but as the game is today, I don't think they're going to do it. There it is. Alright, I guess we'll head back to, well, I dismissed the ship, so we'll head back the way we came. Because I know that there are several colonies back that direction for the plants. Sure I'm not missing some over here, because they're kind of interspersed with the stratums a lot of the times on these plants. See it right there. Let's head down for some flatter ground. Oh, there's some right there. All right. Which tussock are you? You're the cheap one. Damn it. Well, it's only 200 meters. Let's take a left here. No, you don't. Ah, yep, see, there's some right here. All right. Grab this one. And one more, and then I haven't seen the bacteria. And if we don't, that's okay, because we got a fleet carrier to catch up to. The hell was that? Well, there's the ship at least.
Okay, executing now.
Alright, so we're done with this. Yeah, I don't see this planet's bacteria anywhere. And it's a cheapie, so I'm not going to worry with it too much. That was quite the arrival at the ship. All right. 342. That will probably conclude our exo-biology for the day. Landing gear.
Landing gear up.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for the conversation. Well, there's the damn bacteria. We'll be here for Distant Worlds. Got quite a ways to go, so feel free to stop back in anytime. I would have to find the damn bacteria, right? As I was getting ready to leave the planet, y'all. Oh, 07 chromatics here. As much as I'm ready to be off this rock, I'm not turning down 4 million credits. Number 2, and then it'd be interesting to see how far Odysseus might have moved while we've been out here messing around today. Catching up to her could be a real trick, depending on where she is in her jump cycles. I'm not that worried, it just... just may take us a couple minutes. There we go. This will be our last one on this planet. Alright. Let's see where Odysseus is. She's moving. Back to big boy jumps instead of the 1.5 light year stuff we've been doing all day. So we are going to be moving, guys. No stopping. We'll honk systems and go.
Supercharged.
Adjusting for jump. Adjusting for jump.
The great thing about this ship is it's got a massive fuel sweep on it, so we don't have to waste time circling a star more than once. We can keep this thing topped up to a reasonable degree and just keep going. The biggest thing holding me back is the charge time on the FSD.
Interstellar travel mode engaging now.
But I doubt we're going to get too many neutron star jumps here.
Course adjustment. Interstellar travel mode engaged.
Alright. So now with my luck, Odysseus will jump by the time we get there. Although she can only jump 500 light years, and I can cover 500 light years quicker than the carrier can cycle through a jump sequence.
Locking next star system.
And really, all we'd have to do, if I was really desperate, was get within a certain range of her, and then manufacture a jump boost, and just go straight there. You can see the stars starting to thin out again ahead of us.
Okay, executing now. Jumping to next system.
There's some big systems out here.
Jumping to next system. Making the jump to light speed.
There's something really satisfying about traveling fast in this game. That's what I thought. No neutron stars.
Navigation for next system.
Moving
Faster
along
than
pretty
light
good.
velocity reached.
It's not that hard to chase down a fleet carrier. Get a maximum 500 light year range they can go, and it takes them minimum 20 minutes to do so. Although Odysseus' captain has been moving today. Because she's moved 3,000 light years since we took off.
Vectors. Maximum velocity.
Round and around we go. Big star. All right.
Readying for system jump now. Jumping.
Oh, I spoke too soon. We got another neutron star.
Jump range has been increased.
Course adjustment.
And another neutron. I don't mind this. That's 500 light years gone right there in 2 jumps.
FSP supercharged.
Bad heat management when fuel scooping. That's a function of a couple things. One is your ship.
Stand by.
And the other thing is power consumption. So anything that's using power is basically upping your heat, which is going to mess with your heat while fuel scooping. But also,
Preparing for jump.
if you just find a sweet spot where you're at like 75% of your fuel scooping capacity and then just go to 0 throttle, that'll help. Like, I'm doing the flybys because I have a massive scoop and this ship runs cold as hell. Which is why I can engage my FSD charge while I'm still scooping, but that, the heat's just primarily coming from all the power that's being used, plus some ships just run colder than others the way they're built. Oof, bright boy. Man, we have run through some big star systems body-wise here. There we go. Exclusion zone in that star
Locking
was
next
huge.
star system.
Come on, give me some more neutron stars. I enjoyed those jumps. Just peeling tons of distance off. There we go. Perfect.
Selecting next destination. Jumping to light speed.
I feel like I'm going to have to chase her for another 500 light years once we finally get to our target system. Okay.
Jumping to next system. Navigation for next system.
Let's flick on. These aren't in transit. Alright.
Entry guidance computations complete.
That's a negative.
Adder. Ah, that explains it. When it comes to field scooping, you're flying a microwave when it comes to the adder. The adder was the ship that taught me never to leave home without without heat sinks, because it will cook itself in a heartbeat.
Vectors.
So I'm going to preface this by saying it's not helpful advice, but the best advice I can give you in terms of fuel scoop overheating with the adder is to get rid of the adder. That ship just likes to cook. Like I said, not helpful advice, but it's honest advice. I've owned almost every ship. At least at the lower end, because back when I started playing, when the game first came out, you could not make money the way that we do today. So you worked your way up and saved for the adder, and then you stuck with it for a while. The hauler, then the adder, then the Type 6. It was back when basic money making was a freaking grind. I feel like at this point Odysseus has definitely moved on us. She has.
Okay, executing now.
She just jumped. The question there is 1,800 light years. The question there is how quick can we cover 1,800 light years? The answer is pretty damn quick, but I don't know if it's going to be quick enough to catch up to her before she jumps.
Leaving system. Hyperspace jump engaging.
Then get money and not use spot shits with real world money. That's fair. I remember back in the day, making my first million was like a major accomplishment. These days, you can do that in 10 minutes with a Sidewinder. The economy creep is real with this game.
System jump now. Hyperspace.
See if she'll do this like she's supposed to. That's what I was afraid it was going to do. Come on, you can manage this. I do still have my original Sidewinder. Yeah, it's sitting on my carrier.
Locking next star system.
Just never had the heart to get rid of the thing. A 10-year-old ship. More than that, actually. Oh, you're still set on that. I feel like I should play some Rickroll music right now because we can't give her up.
Leaving system.
They get a good scoop as we go by on this one.
Readying for system jump now. Interstellar travel mode engaged.
I do have a Cobra Mark IV. That I never fly.
Preparing for jump.
Cobra Mark IV was not the best ship in the world. The hardpoint placement sucked. I much prefer the 3 and the 5, especially the 5. The 5 is a badass ship.
Course adjustment. Jumping.
Nothing like chasing the pace carrier.
Interstellar travel mode engaging now.
We're going to be cutting this really close. I do have a feeling that it's going to jump right as we get there, which will mean we'll have to chase it again for a few minutes, but... If you're really, like, aggressively traveling like I can, a carrier can't outrun you. They can make it annoying, but they can't actually outrun you.
Adjusting for jump.
It does look mean. It's that top hard point that kills me in the Mark IV. It's just... The weapon convergence is all kind of wonky because of it. It's not as weird as the Imperial ships, but... Ooh, this is a fun system. Spicy boys.
Okay, executing now.
We've got to have another neutron jump in here somewhere, I feel like. Or not, maybe we are running all 13 jumps in. At 70 light years a pop. I could move a little faster in this thing, but not much. If we dump the limpets and
Vectors.
let the fuel tanks run dry.
Hyperspace jump engaging.
Only carried the fuel that we need for each jump, but that's a dangerous game this far from anything. Line up. I was just looking at my fleet. I've got quite the random assortment of some ships in my fleet. My old girl, the red Sidewinder red shirt, is in there though.
Jumping to next system.
I own several ASPs explorers for some unknown reason. So I've never been one to buy more than one copy of each ship in most circumstances. We may be close to Fimblethorpe. Fimblethorpe's lagging
Navigation
behind
for
a
next
little bit.
system. Interstellar travel mode engaging now.
I don't care which carrier I'm on. Oh, we've passed Symbolful. We can catch up to Chista in 5 jumps. I'll do that for sure.
Selecting next destination.
Odysseus
travel
is
mode
way
engaging
out
now.
in front.
Jump range boosted.
Stand by.
I didn't realize Symbolful was lagging that far behind. Distant Suns just... Distant Suns is way out there.
Entry guidance computations complete. Frameshift now engaged. No anomalies detected.
I have paid ARCs for most of the ships they've released, the new ships that they've released for ARCs, but I do that so that I can make the videos for the channels for you guys. So I'm not a normal case. And of course I don't have to pay for them anymore, but yeah, I'm not a normal case on that. Because I probably wouldn't have paid money for some of the like the Python Mark II. Great ship, but it doesn't fit my normal use cases, so I probably wouldn't have bought one if it weren't for needing to, you know, do a review so that you guys knew whether or not it was decent, which it is. Alright, looks like we're going to be hopefully arriving before this carrier has a chance to move on us.
Adjusting for jump.
Yeah, I mean, the Caspian absolutely has its uses. My biggest criticism of the Caspian has been them trying to call it an exploration ship when it's got some serious flaws when it comes to exploration. Did she move on me? She did.
Stand by.
So I will catch up with Odysseus. I can rattle off the jumps to get to her pretty quick. Fimbleful must have literally just jumped out on us.
Jump range has been increased.
Preparing for jump.
I still want to see the roadmap for this year and see what kind of new ships they might be coming up with. Right, yeah. The pre-purchase ships, you could just do all kinds of screwy stuff with moving them around, which is very weird in terms of the in-game lore. And can we clear? There we go. Clear the zone on that one, please. Freaking giant red dwarfs.
Navigation for next system. Frame shift now engaged. Jumping to next system.
Okay. We should be okay. Carrier just changed position 5 minutes ago, and it's 5-minute cooldown plus a 15-minute wind up, so we're averaging about a jump a minute.
Interstellar travel.
So that's another 8 minutes. So theoretically, 13 minutes after its last location change, we should arrive in system. Theoretically. I figured it would take about an hour to chase it down. It would be nice if I could rattle off jumps faster in this thing, but I mean, I'm literally... There is no going quicker unless I engineer for,
Jumping to next system.
what is it? What's the modification? Boot time? But not worth the sacrifice on other stuff. If we had to stop to scoop with this thing, it would be a problem, but since we don't...
Leaving system. Frameshift drive engaging.
Ooh, purple. Yeah, not scooping off that one. Let's avoid that at all costs. That just looks like it, ship damage. Right into a white star, so we go from purple to being blinded by the light. Perfect.
Readying for system jump now.
knocking back distance pretty quick as it is. This ship is built to travel. Dalton Lee 1. Let's see something you doc soon. According to the latest DWE carrier flight log, Odysseus is 8,355.5 light years from destination. I don't know how much longer the captain's going to jump it tonight, so... Distant Suns is 4,000 light years from, well, 4,900 from destination rendezvous point, and Fimbulthul and Chista are lagging a little behind. In fact, I passed Fimbulthul a little while ago. She's probably 900 light years behind us. Have they been docking around 7 p.m. EST? Okay. Yeah, he's making good progress, but he's still got a lot of ground to cover.
Selecting next destination.
I undocked today about 1 o'clock Eastern time, knowing full well he was going to move. I've been chasing him for about 3,000 light years, and we're almost caught up. It was worth it though. Saw some really interesting systems today. Terraformable water world. Always glad to see one of those. So.
Vectors. Interstellar velocity at maximum.
No, I would participate in some of the events. It's just I hopped off the ship to do some exploring. Just because I kind of felt like it. No, I didn't do any of the SRV racing or anything because I don't like SRVs that much, but... Realistically, I should have put myself on Distant Suns. Because they're going to be doing what I like to do, but I thought I would stay with the main pace carrier. So that when if I made any update videos or anything for you guys about Distant Worlds 3, I was actually with the fleet and not just in the middle of nowhere with Distant Suns. There she is, right there. Can't remember if I honked the system. We'll do it again. Right. Request docking.
Is in effect around this carrier.
Contacting docking control.
This carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure.
Landing gear.
Docking request
The Milky Way is not Disneyland.
We made it.
Welcome to this carrier, Commander.
All right. All right. Universal color graphics. Let's
That's
see
a
what we got
negative.
today. I can shut VA down for the day. 11 mil. All right, so here is the problem I have with Exo versus, and yes, I have, Dalton. I'm about to answer your question here when we walk over there. This is the problem I have with the balance of old school exploration versus Exo-biology. Just our highest first discovered in here is going to be, you know, this 35K, even after the carrier fees. She's jumping out soon. We better head up to the bridge.
Contact active.
Oh, we've got 3 minutes.
You have some data to sell. Vista strives to learn everything it can about the cosmos.
So we'll sell this page. The first to discover bonuses are so far out of whack. The highest we got was 35 grand. They need to rebalance this.
Is that everything? Thank you for your
It's
contribution.
insane.
Attention. Carrier has entered pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
What? This is crappier than the seat I was picking. Screw you guys. Yeah, we'll absolutely be here starting at 1 p.m. on Eastern Time on Friday. Got Star Wars D&D tomorrow, so I think it's tomorrow. Is today Wednesday or Thursday? I don't know what day it is. Is it Wednesday? Is it what day is it? It's Wednesday. So no stream tomorrow, stream on Friday. So anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out today. I most appreciate it. Enjoy talking to all you commanders. Make sure to follow the channel so you know when we're going live. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. And let's enjoy one last carrier jump before we head off for the day. Man, Frontier sound design really sells that, doesn't it? All right. 07 Commanders, I'll see you guys on Friday. Everybody have a great evening.